Joining us now is Chris Cerino. He's the incoming president of the National Council of Structural Engineers Association. Listening to Alina describe the busyness of this port, top 10 in the country, you have got cargo ships coming in and out every single day. I think at last check, 40 were expected to come in the next few days. Are we to expect that a bridge like this can withstand getting hit by a boat or a ship, or are they not built to do that?
And, certainly hazards have evolved and shipping has evolved since the bridge was designed in the 70s and built. And so we have to look at the way new shipping is designed these days and make sure that bridges can withstand this type of impact.
You cut out a little bit, sorry, Chris, in the very beginning there. I just want to reiterate your response to that. Are you saying because this bridge was constructed in the 70s, it may not be able or clearly wasn't able to withstand this strike?
Sure. Well, hazards clearly evolve, and shipping has evolved to larger vessels. And so it probably is very different than it was when it was designed. And so this has to be accounted for, and we need to take a look at that in looking at the existing conditions of bridges like this.
Understood. So as you look at the video, tragic as it is to watch, there's probably a lot that you can take away and we can learn from watching the ship hit the bridge and then it sort of crumble. What stands out to you as you watch that moment?
Well, certainly the ship is not designed to hit the pier, and operational safeguards need to be in place. Operational redundancies are going to have to be looked at very quickly to avoid situations like this. And then in the future, codes and standards are going to have to take this education and make sure that we anticipate loads like this and figure out the probability and ways that this can be designed for on the structural side in the future.
So, just looking at it in layman's terms, I'm looking at that span. It's a 1.6-mile bridge, but that's the largest span right there that went down where the barge hit. Would another pylon in the middle of that prevent the kind of catastrophe that we are seeing? What would be the fix on this current bridge that, by the way, was up to code?
There's a couple things you can do in terms of progressive collapse. There's ways to add redundancy to span over additional elements. This adds a considerable amount of cost. So it is a balance between adding this redundancy and putting into place operational safeguards and those redundancies as well.
In terms of the search effort, there is also the risk of the remaining parts of the bridge collapsing or even the pieces in the water. What would you be doing or advising them to do as they delicately conduct this search?
Yeah, it's a very difficult situation where you have very heavy pieces of steel that are in the way. The ship is still there, so the search and rescue operation is a very delicate one for sure. In the future, once that is deemed over, structural engineers are going to have to evaluate the integrity of what remains standing and decide whether that's safe, whether it's safe for workers to deconstruct, and how to go forward and rebuild the bridge.
We understand that Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg will also be visiting the site here in the next few hours and certainly the coming days. For federal authorities, if they are coordinating with engineers just like yourself, what would be your advice as they look to, one, understand this, but two, rebuild a bridge like this?
Yeah, I would hope that the authorities are working very closely with structural engineers right now during the search and rescue, as integrity is very key to their safety. We want to make sure that there's no additional tragedies due to current instability, but certainly the size of shipping containers, draft depths, the approaches all have to be looked at. And immediately operational and safeguards are going to have to be put in place for the shipping industry as well to make sure that this is preventable.
Right, and speed of the ship as well. We're not sure if there was a tug involved. There's a lot we still don't know. Chris Cerino, thank you for your perspective. Appreciate it.
Great. Thank you so much.